Howdy everyone, Tasty here, and thank you for joining me on another Random Gaming News, where today we're going to take a look at a few quick mentions I think you might be interested in, as well as the Xbox Series X console, some of the confirmed specs that will be going into the console, as well as some of the rumored ones for it too. Then we're going to take a look at the game to look forward to this week. Spoiler alert, there's two of them, just because there's only two games coming out. Also, make sure that you are staying tuned to the end of the video so you can get in on that giveaway at the end of the month. And check out the links in the description, because I did actually create a Discord server for the channel itself, so if you guys want to come over there and hang out and chat and maybe see some of the news articles I work on throughout the week, go ahead and hit me up on the Discord link down in the description below. Underneath that will be the YouTuber to check out that, it's just somebody that I find interesting that I think you might as well. If you do share the video, I greatly appreciate it, because that helps out the channel a lot. Hit the like button if you did enjoy the video, subscribe if you haven't already with the bell icon turned on so you can be notified of when I make my next video, and let's go ahead and start the show. First up, for the quick mentions, we have kind of a sad story, as PlanetSide Arena is going to be shutting down on January 10th of 2020, and this game has actually just been plagued from the start, as it had a very long delay period for it, because it was supposed to come out on January 29th, and then on January 25th was delayed until March 26th, and then delayed once more time until September 19th, and in that whole process they actually had to refund pre-orders to people that had bought it on Steam or anything along those lines, and it only has been out for a short period of time. In the first day of the game, only saw about 1,500 people playing the game, and has only seen about 55 people currently playing it. And that's kind of bad for this style of game, because it had a 500 player deathmatch, so it was 250 versus 250 deathmatch kind of style, and it's kind of hard to have those games if you don't have 500 people playing the game. Alright, so it doesn't seem like Wolf Among Us 2 is the only thing coming from the Tall Tale game series that we all thought were lost and gone. It does look like that we're actually getting a noir-inspired filter for the Batman Tall Tale games, and this is pretty much just going to be a black and white filter that goes over the game, and you can find out from the link in the description from the now deleted press release from the Tall Tale Games people that are now making the game. Next up is we have some Cyberpunk 2077 news, as we got to get a list of some of the artists that are actually going to be featured inside the game, and one of them being run by Jewel. Rapper Killer Mike actually stated that he just wanted to provide music to fuck shit up. And then Grimes is actually going to be playing Izzy Wizzy, who is a famous pop artist who's from the Cyberpunk universe, so it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Next is we have actually Microsoft trolling Sony a little bit here, where last week Sony had their State of Play where they announced that the Untitled Goose Game is going to be coming out to consoles, and shortly after their State of Play ended, Microsoft tweeted out that they were going to be actually putting the Untitled Goose Game on Xbox Game Pass. So it just seems like that Microsoft is trolling Sony a little bit, but also doing a little bit of good marketing, and it all wins for the Untitled Goose Game, because it is a hell of a game. So now on to the main story of the day, where we're going to be talking about a little bit of the confirmed specs that are going to go into the Xbox Series X, and some of the rumors as well that are surrounding it, and kind of seeing what is actually going to come from it. And if you missed out on the Game Awards last Thursday, then you may have actually missed out on the first look of the actual console itself. And one look at it actually kind of makes it look like either like a cheese grater or two GameCube consoles stacked on top of each other. But I've said it before, and I'll keep on saying it about the console, it really does look like a small form factor PC, and from the specs that are already confirmed, it kind of is showing off a little bit of that as well, because a press release was actually put out after the Game Awards by Phil Spencer, where he talked a bit about the console, and then Microsoft actually claimed that the console can do 4K at 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second on VVR, and then it also can have the capability of hitting 8K, so it's be pretty interesting to see what kind of comes of the console. But it does actually have a custom CPU, which is the AMD Zen 2 chipset, and then it's also going to be getting a custom GPU alongside it that runs off of the RDNA AMD kind of chipset, and a custom processor that will go alongside it here. And Phil Spencer actually did say in an interview with GameSpot a while back that they were actually doing the math to see how much they can actually improve, and because they wanted a dramatic improvement on this generation to the next generation, and they did the math, and they said that this next console is going to be 8 times more powerful than the original Xbox One and 2 times more powerful than the Xbox X. So it'd be interesting to see just kind of what comes from that here, and what the actual power output is going to be from this actual console. Now let's take a look at some rumors here. These come in from sources over at Windows Central, so take it with a grain of salt, but the CPU seems to be an 8-core processor with 3.5 gigahertz processing speed. We're going to get a custom Xbox Series X GPU with custom processor to go along with it. Computing power will be around 12 teraflops of computing power. Then we're going to get about 16 gigs of RAM, 13 of it going towards games, 3 of it towards the OS itself, ending with an NVMe SSD to load those games a lot faster. So as you can see, the rumors themselves show this that being a very beefy system, and if it comes out that way, and like I said, it's a very small form factor PC at that point in time, because you can still use keyboard and mouse to play a lot of those games on there. But let's take a look at a comparison between the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X and see kind of how it stacks up against one another. So as you can see, the actual CPU itself is going to be over 1 full gigahertz of processing speed faster than the older one, or not really that much older, but just the Xbox One X chipset itself. And then we're going to get 16 gigs of RAM, where I know 13 of it's going to go towards just the games, but if you look at the Xbox One X, it only had 12 gigs of RAM, so this is going to give us a lot bigger boost in actual computing speed, because the OS took up some of that 12 gigs. And then also, anybody that owns a PC will tell you themselves that an SSD loads a lot faster than an HDD, so this is going to be cool to see how those games actually load a lot faster on that SSD itself. But we still have no word on the actual storage space that will be inside of there. But it is kind of cool to see this console actually finally get some news out there, because we haven't had a whole lot, considering that the PS5 has actually put out a lot of stuff that they're going to be actually putting out on the console. I'm probably going to be picking up the Xbox Series X myself, as I love Microsoft consoles, and even though it does look like a cheese grater or 2 GameCube consoles stacked on top of each other. Now we're on to the game to look forward to this week, and I'm going to go ahead and give you the 2 that we actually can look forward to this week, as we may not be getting another game, at least on the Metacritic form that I use to create these sections for the video. It might not be getting another game until January 13th of next year, so let's go ahead and get into what these are. And one of them we talked about a little bit earlier in the video, if you might have noticed that, and that's the Untitled Goose Game. That's right, this is coming out December 17th, and there's not a whole lot to really say about it, because it actually took the internet by storm. So if you haven't heard about it from now, this is basically what it is. You're a goose inside of a town, and you have to cause chaos inside the town or complete little tasks in order to complete the game itself. So you can look forward to this game on PS4 and Xbox One and Xbox Game Pass on December 17th. Alright, next one, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, but it's Watun, something along those lines. It's from the creators of Katamari Damacy, and it looks just like it came from that universe itself, and you can make friends with anybody in the game, from a rock to a sock to a plant to a flower, anybody that you like, and then go and blow them up. And I don't know a whole lot about this. I didn't really see a whole lot online. I saw a little bit of the gameplay, but it just kind of seemed like you were making friends and stacking them up and solving little puzzles. But we can learn more about this game on December 17th when it comes out for the PC and PS4. That's our video for today. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I enjoyed making it for you. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to talk to all of you down there. Make sure that you're also checking out the links in the description, the other YouTuber down there that I find interesting. I think you might as well. Also, the Discord server that I made for this channel, and the actual Twitter account for me there. Because if you go and follow me on Twitter and then come back and leave #followed, that gets you entered in for the big giveaway at the end of the month. And you can also keep a lookout from some of the other random giveaways that I do there as well. Make sure that you are sharing this channel, sharing this video. I mean, you can share the channel if you'd like as well, but sharing the video helps me out the most. Hitting the like button lets me know that you guys did enjoy the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and leave that bell icon turned on, so that way you can be notified of when I make my next video. As always, I have been Tasty. This has been Random Gaming News, and have a wonderful fucking gaming night.